Okay, we should be broadcasting. So, well, I'll go ahead and I'll read mine. Um, the article was called Debtor Ousted from Home Can Still Claim Homestead Exemption. So this article refers to a man who filed for bankruptcy, and he listed a property in Huntington, New York as a property that would be eligible for the homestead exemption. The trustee asked the courts to allow the property in the bankruptcy. He asked that the property not be allowed as a homestead exemption. And the trustee claimed that the home was not his primary residence, and therefore, he couldn't keep it or use the exemption. Well, upon further discovery, the court they found out that the man had been court ordered to leave the property due to marital problems, and the court decided that did not constitute abandonment of rights of residency or occupancy because, just because of, it wasn't even a divorce. The court had just said you need to leave the home. So because of that, he was still able to use that property use it in the homestead exemption. And he got to keep up like $148,000 of the equity that was in the home in his bankruptcy.
Nice. I do like that one. So mine, it's more of explaining the change in law, but you can sort of tweak it into an example.
Right.
I wrote, this article explains that an Ohio bill would increase the homestead exemption from $25,000 to $50,000 for U.S. veterans. In order to qualify for the increased exemption, the veteran needs to be honorably discharged for a total and permanent disability that was caused by their service in the military. The spouse of a qualified veteran may also receive this exemption if the veteran dies while receiving the exemption and the spouse owns the house. So it's explaining it, but you can kind of still make up an example to it.
Right. Well, one thing that I noticed on the review questions, that all of them didn't really have to pertain to a specific example. You know what I mean? Like when we've done articles before, our questions always revolved around that case. And I noticed that some of them didn't. They were just made up questions about it.
Right. No, I noticed that too.
All right. So I guess one of us, probably Tanner's always been the one that's created our Google Doc to share. So now what do we do? Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. Let me get going. Isn't quite doing it the traditional way, but that link I just sent you should do it.
Okay, just an email link.
No, it's in the. Oh wait, you can't. Can you see the group chat for the Hangout?
Let me see. Sorry, my husband's not home from work yet, so I'm still trying to cook too. Let's see. Okay. Yes, I did get a chat.
Okay.
So if I just click on that.
Yep.
Okay. I can see it.
Good.
All right. So do we want to try and come up with a question from one of them, or should we just make up our own?
I'm kind of fine with either. I guess if we did mine, the most I can think of us doing is like explaining the law change and then maybe what makes you qualified or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Or,
although I think mine is a good example of, I mean, mine's like a case briefing. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
what the court found. So I don't know that it really explains a whole heck of a lot about it. It just, I think yours might be better to explain what it actually is. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm fine with either. I can at least put down what I have, and if we decide doing something else, then that's easy.
Okay. All right. All right. So what kind of explanation of, should we just type in there that maybe what, how, and the homestead exemption is, maybe? Do you want to do that?
Um, yeah, we could do that.
What other example or explanation could you think of? What would we put in there?
You could even just put that the bill isn't changing the standard exemption only for veterans or something like that.
Well, I guess we could put something in there, because doesn't the guy that files for bankruptcy, he can choose whether he wants the federal or the whatever. I mean, we could, sorry, that was a little off base, but
Yeah, because from what I understood, it's generally just states that do the homestead exemption, right?
well, I think there is a homestead exemption in the federal exemptions, but they can choose whether they want to use the state or the federal, and the states generally are higher, like they can keep more of the equity than what the federal allows them, because the federal was only like 22,000 or something like that, I think.
I don't remember seeing a thing about that.
I'll look it up real quick. Let me hurry and get this all put together. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Not very good for this tonight. Okay, I think I'm done. Do you have any ideas of what we can type for an explanation? Do you want to put like right now, just kind of say that right now the homestead exemption only allows 25,000, you know, like, or if someone files for bankruptcy, they can only keep 25,000.
Well, it's a bill that's already passed, so it's not
Oh, okay.
a potential law. It is.
Okay.
At least, let me double check. Yeah, it's the article. While it is in October of this year, the law got signed all the way back in June of 2014.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, it does say here that it's most states provide a homestead exemption, but I could have sworn I saw an exemption somewhere back in the federal. Oh, well. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it could have been something you saw in your readings for an article, because I know that happens.
Oh, here it is. So it's actually under like the procedure and exemptions for the bankruptcy. It's not actually under the same section as homestead. So it says under federal law, the following, this is on page 271. And it does say equity home, in a home, and burial plot up to $22,975. So the federal only allows that amount.
Gotcha.
Do you have any idea of what kind of questions we can ask? Do you want to?
Okay. You could maybe do one saying like what are like make a list of things that you qualified for the 50,000. Let's state the question as if which of the following is not a requirement for the 50,000.
I wonder if we kind of took this basic information and said, you know, Joe, who's a U.S. veteran, lives in Ohio, and he's filed for whatever Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And then say, according to Ohio law, U.S. veterans, you know, qualify for a $50,000 homestead exemption. And then we could say, I don't know, we could ask them to maybe explain what is a homestead exemption, or I don't know, something like that. We could make it a little, put a scenario with it.
So we could maybe do it sort of like, by the way, I'm a math person, so I like coming up with math sort of. You could even create a math scenario like Joe owns a home that's worth $200,000. Due to Ohio state law, he can claim up to a $50,000 homestead exemption. And oh,
And then he owes much money on it. Yeah. That would be
I
good.
yeah, you could even kind of add. Let me find it in the book because it mentioned something of the that the mortgage had to come before uh, whatever lien or whatever you want to call it, or you could just stick with the math part.
Oh, you mean like as far as who the creditors would be in what order? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I like the math thing.
Okay. Let me at least do the explanation. There we go. And for quiz question,
Do you want to say Joe's house is being liquidated as part of a Chapter 7
oh,
bankruptcy?
yeah, that makes more sense. That's probably why I had to put a wall in my head.
Oh, we have to put on there how much he owes on it, though, right?
That's what I was.
Because he has to have at least. We can put that up here if you want. He owns a $200,000 house and owes $130,000 or something.
Do that.
Would that be easier?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, let's do a bigger number because let's say,
If we were to do it like, so let's say 125 or 130 or something like that, he's not going to be able to keep the whole 30,000. Or do you want to do it like 100 and?
well, the math has to go that the creditor's not getting their max amount.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would. Yeah, gotcha.
Because I'm looking at the example in the book, kind of trying to sort of copy the idea.
And then for our question, should we put how much money will the bank get, or you know what I mean? How much?
Right, we would basically do like how much would the creditor get or something like that.
Right.
Part needs to be different.
Should we put? Okay, so right now it says he owes 200,000 on his house. Should we put? Should we put in the sale and the home sells for? Because I guess it really doesn't matter what the house is worth. It matters what it sells for, right?
Yeah, well, it matters how much is left on the mortgage and um,
And then just what it sells for,
sells for.
are the only two numbers, right?
Let's see.
Whoops. Sorry.
That's
Okay, so when you're saying he has a judgment against him, so this isn't necessarily part, okay, because I put it was part of a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So a judgment would be somebody suing, or
not
so if he has a judgment, what does that mean really?
basically that due to bankruptcy, he owes 45, and at least if I'm kind of following that same thought process that the example in the book has,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's how they worded of creditor, um, or I guess debtor has the judgment against him.
So in this case, there's two people that have liens on the home. One for 45,000, and then the home, the 200,000 for the mortgage. Is that right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
clarify that the 200,000 is for mortgage.
And he has probably a judgment of 45,000 against him. Okay. Okay, so it's the creditor, and what do you call the person that put a judgment against him?
I wouldn't put two people. I probably, I don't know, I kind of tried to make it easier by actually naming who has the judgment. So you could put how much money would Capital One receive from the sale of the house or something like that.
Okay. So throw out a name. How about Amber? Should Amber have a judgment?
Who would Amber be?
She'd be the one that has the 45,000 judgment against him.
No. Capital One can be.
So, oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I'm saying, so you're saying Capital One is, I thought Capital One would be the mortgage holder. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Whoops. How much money would Capital One and the mortgage lien holder each receive? Does that sound okay?
Well, even then, you don't need one or the other. You could just do Capital One and then do the math. It only needs one person.
Okay.
One entity, I guess. Oh, wait. That's not the answer. That would be up there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering, I'm like, wait, why are we already on feedback?
Yeah, just getting the wrong slot. Okay. Okay. So the correct answer. So if we have 270,000, the lien holder, well, he gets his exemption of 50,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first. So then he's going to have 220,000 left over. And then the mortgage is for 200,000. They come next, right?
Well, it goes mortgage first.
Right.
And then the exemption. So there'd be 20,000 left after those two are taken care of. So I guess that answer would actually be 20.
Yeah, 20,000.
And then the wrong answer.
So the personal exemption comes after the mortgage lien holder? I thought it came before.
Not really. If the mortgage agreement antedates the judgment, proceeds from the sale, the house must go first to pay the mortgage. Why? Let's see.
Because I thought the exemptions
Either way,
I thought the exemptions protected them so that they could go out and, like in the video, so they could go out and get another home. So if there wasn't enough, the mortgager would still be short. Is that not how it works?
no, it's not to protect the person from the mortgage. It's more to protect them because I guess when you're going through bankruptcy and you get a huge amount of cash, basically they have right to take that. It's like, for example, I do taxes, and say someone has $15,000 judgment against them, and they get a $10,000 tax return. That person wouldn't see a penny of that 10,000 because whoever has the judgment has the right to take that money before the person can receive it. But the homestead exemption, it's more so basically if you have two things going on.
Okay.
But either way, I mean,
Yeah, the answer's the same, 20,000.
yeah.
Okay. Put tortilla strips on top of it if you want. I guess for the last one, can we just do that for the wrong answer number 3?
Yeah, that would work.
What else would you put? I'm trying to think of what somebody might consider or might think of instead of just pulling numbers out of the blue.
Right. See, I could see the possibilities of it. You could mess with this. And I'm not sure, but would be another kind of logic.
Well, I guess secured wasn't the word I was looking for. Maybe, uh, what was that other word that they talked about?
You could
Because I guess
just
it is secured because they have collateral on the house, right?
you
So I
could
guess
probably say none and say Capital One has no right to the money from the sale of the house.
okay.
I mean, if one of the four choices is pretty cut and dry that it's wrong, then
Mm-hmm.
still people have to kind of do the math correctly
Right.
with others. I like that feedback for the last one.
What?
I like the feedback for the last one.
Okay. Okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah, can't think of anything else to do to it.
Okay. Well, I think that's it then.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast so that we can get a link off of it anyway. And then we'll go from there.